Hello, I'm Emma Hammett from First Aid for Life and onlinefirstaid.com. And today I'm going to talk to you about all the different tech solutions that are around that can make it easier for older people to stay independent in their own homes for longer, and to make it easier for those who care about them to be reminded about their safety and be alerted on our mobile phones if something happens, if they've had a fall, if their routine's different, if they've only taken part of their medication, all those things that we worry about. So key thing is that older people fight for their independence to stay in their own home, and it takes a lot of effort to make sure that it's safe for them to do so, and that they are able to look after themselves, have people coming in safely. I will mention very briefly about elder abuse lately, a little bit later. I've just written an article on that and how much of that happens in people's own homes as well. And you need to make various adaptations to ensure that somebody can continue to live safely in their own home. Now, one of the issues as well is people think that it's a nice idea to live at home, but they can get lonely. And with the best will in the world, friends and family aren't going to be with them all the time. As Esther Ranson says, loneliness, everybody has someone to do something with, but loneliness is when you don't have anyone to do nothing with. And that's the big issue. So various things such as Alexa, Skype, FaceTime can allow older people to quickly and easily interact with their family remotely and be more part of the family without it feeling as intrusive and without having to make extra arrangements. And it's easier for them just to be able to see, pop in at tea time and see what's happening and be part of it without it having to be a phone call when you stop and start and what have you. So it just makes it easier to feel connected. There are things like an Apple Watch, which can do all sorts of monitoring. It can do very clever things. It can monitor their welfare and their heartbeats and things, so that they can monitor that for themselves. It's also got various alerts, one of the latest models, which can alert someone if the person has fallen or not moved for a certain amount of time and things. So there are really useful things that can happen here. There's electronic pill dispensers that can send an alert to the next of kin if the person has only taken half their medication, or they haven't taken their medication at all, or they haven't taken it on time. It can also alert the older person when they need to take their tablets, so it actually sends them a message. There's various messages you can have that play as somebody's about to go out of the door that reminds them to take their keys. There are locators that you can put in things like someone's wallet or their glasses, so that if they are missing, you can send off, it will bleep. So when you look for it, it will do an alert and let someone know where it is. Similarly, there's also a way of attaching tiny little things onto it, which allow you to geotag them. And you can have a look, you can see a map of the house and see where it is, so that you can tell them, it's all right, your glasses are on the sofa, your wallet's not lost, it's just there. And then they can go and find it. So they have their independence, but you're also there to help. I think that might be quite useful for teenagers too, personally. There are things like Buddy, which is a band, a discreet band that they can wear, which has all sorts of clever capabilities. I've written a whole article on this. It was invented, or it's founded by the inventor of confused.com. So Sarah's set it up, and it was originally set up to track children to make sure that they're safe. And now it's used a lot for older people. If they wander, it will alert someone and things, but it will also, if they've fallen, it will sense that they have fallen, and it will allow them to say, I'm okay. And then it will alert someone if they're not, or if there is no, if they don't say anything, it will alert someone that they may have fallen. So really useful stuff. There's a smart sole and discreet insole that can be put inside someone's shoes, so that if you have an older relative who wanders and might well get lost, that it can actually track them, and you can go and find them because you can see exactly where they are. There are plugs that you can plug in devices, so that if they haven't used their kettle and they always have a cup of tea by 8 o'clock in the morning, if they haven't, yes, they may be having a lie-in, but actually it will send you an alert so that you can just check on them and ensure that they're okay. So there are all sorts of other things as well in that I've written about. And there's more tech being devised on a daily basis. So there are an awful lot of things to try and help people. It's a really relentless task, caring for an older person, no matter how much you love them. And you know, as well, when it's dementia and Alzheimer's, it might not be the person that's, they're not at their best. And it can be very difficult as a carer, looking after them. So I do feel we should do more to support the carers, and also to support the older person, because sadly elder abuse does happen. It's an underreported crime, and over 50% of elder abuse happens from family members, and 64% of the abuse happens in people's own homes. So I'm going to be working really hard to try and campaign to raise awareness on this, and to also help carers to make it a slightly easier experience looking after your loved ones at home. Because if we didn't have all the thousands of carers out there, our NHS would be in an even worse situation than it is now. They really are the unsung heroes. So that's Emma Hammett from First Aid for Life and onlinefirstaid.com.